Do you ever get nostalgic for RuneScape of the past? I do, and that's what happened to me today. I was just thinking about RuneScape right before EOC was released, 2011 to 2012 to be exact. I was 14 years old, coming home from middle school or maybe the start of high school, going in my room at the end of the day and just playing RuneScape all night. To me, this was the golden era of RuneScape. Dungeoneering weapons were consuming the meta, Dragon Claws and AGS special attacks being in the peak of their power, Spirit Shields like the Divine Spirit Shield being insanely overpowered. This was around the time that the most challenging boss in the game was released, which was Nex, and I loved these days. And I loved the mix between dungeoneering, summoning. They were some of my favorite things. I have fond memories of going to Bandos with friends, bringing anti-crashing gear, as you would call it, killing frost dragons for money. I remember Polypore release when I was super excited to test it out at places like Dagnauth Kings. I even scoured through, and all the clips you're currently watching are clips of mine from this era of RuneScape. I used to go PKing all the time. I even PK'd Dragon Claws, which was huge back in the day. But I went and scoured, and these are tons of clips that I found, so I thought I'd throw them in there as well. But to me, this era of RuneScape was just perfect, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. I did a poll 2 months ago on my channel asking what your favorite time period in RuneScape was, and overwhelmingly the answer I got with over 50% of our 7,000 votes was 2009 to 2013, and more specifically, a lot of you let me know in the comments, was 2011 to 2012. This was absolutely my favorite era of RuneScape 2. Which is why I wondered, is there any way I can travel back in time and maybe re-experience this era again? I decided during today's video that's what we're going to try. We're going to scour the archives for a Bandos guide from 2011 and follow it exactly to the T and try to kill this classic boss in this video, and maybe we'll get into a few other shenanigans. So prepare for a nostalgia overload. So first, before anything, I had to scour the web to find an old Bandos guide, but what website would be the best for this? I thought about YouTube, but then I thought about the wiki, but I'm not actually sure how popular the RuneScape wiki was back in 2012. But I remembered a website I used to use all the time, which was called RuneScape Tippet, and a lot of you probably remember this website as well. I entered it in the Wayback Machine archives, and I was transported through a portal of nostalgia. Alright, so here we are on the Wayback Machine on RuneScape Tippet, as you all remember, and we are on the Bandos guide showing like general stats about Bandos, and oh my gosh, this is such a throwback. So this is 2012, so before EOC was released. This was around the time that, well, I'm sure you'll see by the gear setups, but dungeoneering weapons, stuff like that, were the best weapons. Man, this is just, oh my gosh. So I guess this is the setup for group Bandos. So you have the Chaotic Maul, Void, oh man, Dragon Claws, you've got the Unicorn. This is just amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And look, we have the adrenaline potions here. I remember if you were doing group Bandos, you would have somebody bring, Dragon Claws, adrenaline potions. And then if somebody tried to crash you, you would basically start the kill by using your Dragon Claw specs and then switching to the Chaotic Maul. And the adrenaline potions were actually special attack restore potions, I believe. I think that's what they were called back then. So, man, this setup's nostalgic. Do they have another setup like solo? Okay, here we go. Okay, this is more like what we're going to be using, the tank setup. So this should be decent for soloing. So this is what we're going to go for. Let's see, we've got Tassets, the classic Carol's top with Tassets. That was always a classic. And then the Chaotic Longsword. I know there was a big debate at the time, Chaotic Longsword versus Chaotic Rapier. I personally was a Rapier kind of guy, but Chaotic Longsword was something a lot of people used. We have the Verax Helm. Spectral was the shield everyone wanted. I remember I wanted one so bad for Bandos. Barrow's Gloves, Dragon Boots, Berserker Ring, and Bude. Then we've got our Overloads, Renewals, Brews. We've got D-Claws in the inventory, Unicorn, Bones to Peaches. So man, this is so nostalgic. So yeah, this is what we're going to be using as our setup. We'll be following the strategy as well. Pray, Protect from Deflect Melee, Piety and Turmoil. Man, this is going to be so much fun. So let's go get our gear set up now. Alright, so we're buying our gear now, and basically I just went on the GE and bought everything, but I also changed to Legacy mode and Legacy Interface mode so we can really get the full experience of playing back in 2011 or 2012. So I went to the GE, and a lot of these things are actually much cheaper than they used to be. I guess it's not a surprise since they're really not in the meta anymore, but I wanted to compare, so I decided to compare the prices of everything we bought compared to actually if you had bought it at the time. So I decided to compare the three most expensive items. So we have the Spectral Spirit Shield was 51 million GP in 2012 and 4 million in 2021. Tassets were 23 mil in 2012 while being 3 million GP now, and Dragon Claws were 20 million GP in 2012 and now they're a mere 300k. Now keep in mind this does base on the GP from 2011-2012. So for instance, to give you a look at how much 90 mil actually is in 2012, a Santa hat was actually 68 million GP during this time. So basically you could trade a Spectral Spirit Shield and a little bit of cash for a Santa hat in 2012. So safe to say this gear was top of the line. So now we have our gear, and I felt it was only right that I went to the Solomon store and bought some Replica Armor because they do offer like Replica Bandos armor and stuff like that, and I thought it would just fit the theme a bit more and really help us travel back and get in the mindset of the days back in the golden era. So I went and I bought some Replica Bandos and Replica Verax. Sadly, I didn't have enough loyalty points to buy the Replica Carols, but it's okay, and boy were we looking good after this. Man, this just brought me back so much. I really just wish there was a way I could actually play RuneScape from this era, but today we're gonna come pretty close. So now that our gear is set up, let's get our inventory done. Alright, so we have our inventory basically exactly the same as the one on the guide. We have all the right potions, Bones to Peaches, the Unicorn Stallion, we've got our quick prayers set, and we are all ready to go. So let's head to Bandos and get some kill count. Alright, so now we're at Bandos and we're going to do the thing that everybody hates, which is get kill count. I remember how long it would take. Me and my friends would go to Bandos and we would get kill count, and one of us was always, slow or took a while to get there because you would walk from Trollheim. So one of us was always slow and the other person was always in waiting for the other person to finish. So kill count, it wasn't a great time, but the nostalgia is honestly real right now. Alright guys, so here we are at Bandos and we are ready to go. I'm actually kind of nervous, I don't know why, but we have our kill count and we're gonna bang on the door and we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna put on our quick prayers, we're gonna overload up, prayer renewal, and then I guess we're gonna put on our Dragon Claws and go right in and spec him. So here we go. Let's just enter the encounter. I don't even know if there were instances back then, and here we go. Alright, we got some good claw hits. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. So the range hit is usually what would really hurt you back then. So it seems like we're honestly doing pretty good. Let's get some unicorn heals going here. Wow, honestly, this isn't too bad. I mean, it's definitely not as fast as EOC, but man, I don't remember it being this easy back in the day. Well, it would be honestly crazy if we got like a drop doing this. That would just be hilarious. So after you do this, okay, rune salvage, that was definitely not there back in the day. After you do this, you would, I believe, soul split the minions to get back up your health. I believe that's what you would do, and it looks like it's working pretty well. Oh my gosh, I honestly feel so weird. Like, I've done Bandos in old school RuneScape, but obviously like chaotics with soul split and like summoning like a unicorn is just so much different. I don't know about you guys, but 2011, 2012 was just like my favorite time in RuneScape. I think it's the same for a lot of people, but man, this is honestly fun. I'm going to go for a little bit and see if I can get any drops or anything and see how it goes, honestly. So we finished our Bandos trip. We didn't get any drops, sadly. It was kind of weird being kind of pretty much in 2012, but also seeing weird drops like rune salvage and stuff like that. But it was so much fun. I really enjoyed this video and kind of traveling back in time, and it had me thinking, how would like a Iron Man locked to 2011 or 2012 work? Like, if I made an Iron Man and I said I'm just gonna stay in 2012, I can basically do anything I want with, you know, items, gear, skills up until 2012. So it'd be like no invention, nothing like that. Legacy mode, I think that could be pretty interesting, kind of like a time-locked Iron Man. If that's something you guys may want to see, let me know, because this has just got me wanting to play more and more in kind of that 2012 era. It's got me so nostalgic. I know it wouldn't work out totally, but hey, I thought this video was really cool, and yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. It helps the algorithm get the video out to more people. I hope a ton of people see this so they get their RuneScape nostalgia. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe for more content like this, and see you in the next video.